Anything stand out to you from today's practice?
No, it was better. I mean, we've really not scrimmaged. We're going to play a game tomorrow, which is kind of scary. Uh, but it was a lot better. It was just we played it more. You know, one thing I'm learning with this group is when you do something competitive, it's better than when you're just doing drill work. So it's funny, even in the drills, we put a score to it, and all of a sudden the intensity raised. So that's a good sign, I guess.
Obviously, Kawhi and Paul are kind of limited to a lot of drill work right now.
Yeah,
How do you?
Kawhi practiced today. You know, he was great. You know, he came in. He probably half the live stuff he was out on the floor. So
So,
Paul's only doing the drill work. So
so more full contact stuff. Kawhi was able to do today.
yeah, just like practice. Yeah, so that's full contact. So yeah, he was fine. Yeah, you may start him. No, never mind.
Played a different Jared Goff.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your go-to for when you have a new team like this that hasn't played together and you're trying to figure out?
You know, every team's different. You know, every team's different. Like you just kind of read them, you get them in the gym. Clearly, this is a very competitive team. You know, it's funny. You've had different teams, and this team is a competitive defensive team from the first day. Like you can tell, they take a lot of pride in it, and it's not just Kawhi and Paul and Pat. You can just tell this group wants to defend early. That helps. Now we have to teach them how to be a team defensively instead of doing it individually and making it up. But that's a good start for your team, when you have that.
What do you kind of expect from him offensively during his training camp and tomorrow night?
Well, tomorrow I have no expectations. That will be the first time that we've gone up and down with the clock on. So, you know, my guess is fatigue early. Because when you actually play, it's different. We're going down and down, and 3-4 times, then we stop it. But when you have to keep doing that, my guess tomorrow I'll be coaching fatigue more than actual good and bad play.
Have you put in a few stats for them just early?
Just a couple of things early offense. I don't think we have one set in, but we put it in a half hour ago. So, but they know how to play. And that's what we're trying to teach them. Is we're teaching them backwards in a lot of ways. When you get to the playoffs, every play breaks down, and then it becomes a play that after the play, making a play. And so we're teaching them that now, so we can get used to it.
Coach, you touched on a couple of days ago being a disruptive team, rather.
Yeah.
But does that also mean that you guys are, like gambling? And
No,
practices
no.
like that, or
This
is it
this
sound-
just being disruptive has been sound, and we're long. We can get our hand on the ball. We can get deflections. When you get deflections, there's a loose ball. If you're the faster, longer team, you tend to come up with it. And so that's what we're never going to be an undisciplined defensive team. That doesn't help.
Well, there was a guy. I think there are guys who might want to gamble, in the past and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there something you have to tell them? Hold back.
No, I mean we've never not allowed gambles as long as it's a high percentage. We always say go for it, but you better get it. So you know what that means, and some guys do, and some guys play it more conservatively. I think the guys who can do and the guys who can't don't, and I think they all understand that.
Aside from the fatigue, are there
Basketball fans in Hawaii see NBA basketball all year. Just talk about the experience of bringing.
We keep coming here for that reason, to get away. We used to come here to get away from the media, but that no longer works. So now we come here as a team building exercise, and they get to enjoy Hawaii, which is really nice, and it's nice that the fans get to enjoy them as well.
But you had the chance in your career, coaching career, to coach a lot of guys who've been stars,
Yeah.
fine, very accomplished.
Yeah.
How do you build a relationship where you still need to have them use your system and when they are
Well, it's their
accomplished?
system. I don't have one system. I mean, last year we were different from 2 years ago. 2 years ago we were different from 4 years ago. You try to figure out what your guys do best and build that around them. It becomes their system, really. So, but you need cooperation. Drew, you do. If they're on both sides, and we all have to figure it out.
If you talk about going backwards, what you guys are doing offensively, is it more structure or more freelance or a little bit of both?
It's probably more of random freelance than it is structured early, because You know, literally, yeah, and that's every night. You know, some team will figure out one of your sets, the second and the third option. What happens when you get to the fourth option? That's called playing basketball, reading each other. And so we're doing a lot of that early. You know.
You're playing the Rockets, another Western Conference team that, obviously any team in the Western Conference, there's an elephant in the room for the past few years.
Yeah.
When you're thinking about it, are you, obviously this year's a little bit different, but do you have that in mind, or is it very team focused?
It's more team focused. We may not mention Houston before the game. Like tomorrow, we're going to have a practice. We're going to work on our stuff. We're not going to work on one thing with Houston, and that's fine. That's probably good for Houston because they're very good offensively. But we're fine with that. We're just going to be us.
What are the sort of things that reveal themselves when you're actually going against another team and it's not just a scored scrimmage?
Well, I think, for me, I can see different lineups, number one. And you can see different combinations on the floor where in practice the teams are pretty much set. It's the red against the white and the white against the black. In the game, it's just 5 guys, and you have to keep changing. And you may see a group of guys that function better than another group of guys. And so we're going to try to play a lot of guys tomorrow. We have a lot, so we can play a lot.
Today, it feels like you've been learning a new position this summer and playing point guard.
Yeah.
What kind of growing pains are you seeing? What kind of progress are you seeing?
I don't know about the growing pains yet. He's learning now that it's a very demanding position. I think he's understood that over the last. He's had things told to him a lot, not just by me, but by his teammates too. But I shared with him I was a non-point guard. I never played point guard in my life, and I get drafted, and Mike Fratello on the phone says you're a point guard, and I was like, I'm good with that. I'm in the NBA, right? That's all you cared about, and that's Terrence. He's never played the position, but he's always been a point guard. He just didn't know it, and now he knows it.
Landry has talked about at the end of last season exit interviews. You guys talked about him handling the ball more. This season, being a secondary ball handler.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of that in training?
Yeah, Landry will play point a lot this year. There's no doubt about that because he can do a lot of the things that some of the very few guys can do. A Curry, he can push it up and throw it and then run and still score. That's pretty good.
When you guys drafted Terrence, you had Shea still.
Yeah.
That trade, how did that change the way you thought, we might use him a little differently this year? The role
Not at all. When we drafted him, we thought he was a point guard. So we pretty much knew we were drafting a six point guard. At the time, we were looking at having a 6'6", 7 Shea and a 6'6" Terrence, and both being point guards. So we're looking at the length that could create.
How's Terrence been defensively?
He's a great defender. One thing, there's no such thing of a Florida State player that doesn't defend. Leonard Hamilton, they defend. I asked him percentage of offense, defense in practice, and he says there is no percentage. It's all defense. Leonard told us figure it out on offense, and you can see when they play. That's probably true. So.
Doc, it's a little off topic here, but just thoughts on the California legislation to allow NCAA athletes to profit off their image and likeness, stuff like that?
It's about time. It's awesome. It really is. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I'm a big believer in it. I don't know what athletes should make, and all that, but they should be able to make money on their own likeness. They've always should have been, and to me, it's not criminal, but it's close to me that for 100 years now, or whatever, the guys have been able to make money off of somebody else's name, and that guy can't benefit. And then half of those guys don't make it to the pros, and there's all this money that's been made off of them, and they don't have a dime to show for it. So I'm very happy. Gavin, Newsom, just whoever thought of it and did it, I think it's the first step to changing the way it should be. And it's fair.
There was some talk about it being, specifically for maybe the bigger programs like basketball and football. Should this be like a school-wide thing for all?
It should be for everybody. If I'm a tennis player and I can do something quirky and I can be an Instagram tennis whatever, I should be able to make money off of that because every other student can. Yet I'm the guy, going to school plus playing sports, and yet I can't do that. I think it's ridiculous. I remember Austin when he was at Duke. Austin made the game-winning shot against North Carolina. The next game, number 0 was sold out. You couldn't find the jersey. Where did that money go? I mean, so to me, I'm sitting there thinking that for Austin, but for all these kids are coming from tough areas, and it's not a lot of money. It's not as much as you think, but it's something, and it can help them. And I believe it's the right step.
What are you looking for from Jerome in training camp?
Just what he's doing. He's been playing great. Like Jerome's been playing absolutely fantastic. He's aggressive. His defense has been unbelievable. He's making plays, so I've been very happy with him.
This time of year, do you feel like you ever have to silence your inner GM of the past and just be a coach?
No, it's easy. That was the easiest thing I've ever let go, gave up, or whatever. That was a good riddance more to me. It's great. It's funny, Steve or Lawrence will call me and ask me something, and I'll say, hey, I have no idea. Good luck, and I'll check with you later.
Don't miss the most?
All of it.
No, but is there one thing that was always your...
Talking to agents would be number one probably for me. Just wasn't, I'd never done it, and for me, it was tough because I was trying to coach players and do that with the agents. That part was very difficult. So.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, guys.